is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. I wanted to say, welcome into the show. It is a Monday. We hope you had a great weekend because we are ready to rock and roll on a good old Monday. We want to just say thank you for making ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra your first listen of the day. And remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast and wherever you download your podcast. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review. That is not a request. That is a demand. That's how we doing it on this show today, T. That's just kind of type of mood I'm in. Now,
okay.
Because Atlanta Braves get blasted in the series finale against Anaheim, and we're gonna talk about whether or not Adam Duvall gets hurt, season-ending injuries, and we got a lot of discussion. Alex Anthopoulos should be very busy, and also Desmond Ridder is the highest-rated rookie quarterback, but he was taken in the third round. Does that mean something? Or is Madden understanding why the Falcons took Desmond Ridder? We'll talk about all of that. And last but not least, and for the culture, KFC got chicken nuggets now? What in the world is going on? We'll talk about all of that and for the culture. But first, T, we got to talk about, like I mentioned before, the Anaheim Angels beat the Braves 9-1. Ian Anderson gets absolutely rocked. And I don't know about you, but I am getting concerned about Ian Anderson. And I think that he's showing signs of potentially having to go down to AAA to get his mind right, or Alex Anthopoulos having to make that phone call to say, hey, you know what? That guy who you called us about, that asking whether or not we were interested in, yeah, I'm interested now.
Yeah. And my preference is that, because you can really ask that question of, okay, does he remain a Brave? Meaning Alex Anthopoulos either doesn't get on the call to trade him or just can't find a trade partner. Or does he go down, like you said, to AAA, or you hate to say it, but Mississippi Braves, but we definitely hope not that. But ultimately speaking,
if that's even possible.
Right. Is that possible? I guess if Michael Harris II could come up to, maybe you go down to if you're not careful. But anyway, we really just ultimately, I think you do keep him as a Brave because, listen, we know what those last 6 starts looked like, right? Last night, 5 runs in the first inning. But then you look at the fact that it's the walks. That's a problem as well, because even when he has like a 1-run game, like back on July 15th, he still had 3 walks. And also the strikes are going down, right? So 2 strikeouts in the game on Sunday. And then you just run down the list. Back on June 30th, another one of his 7-run games. June 24th, a 4-run game. July 5th, okay, we'll give you that, a 1-run game. But again, you look at the number of walks, anywhere from 3 to 4. And other than that June 24th, where to me, going above and beyond 5 strikeouts is where I really start to get excited. Other than that June 24th outing, every other outing has been 5 or less. And I think, Jarvis, should think about guys like Kyle Wright and how literally they had to work with him. They had to take him back down a notch and say, hey, here are some of the mechanics that you have to figure out, or the mental. Because I don't know if it's really even Ian Anderson and the mechanics. I think now it's just in his head.
Right, yeah. And I think that's the thing that you kind of have to be concerned about, right? Because we all know how mental, how big a part of the game that baseball is when it comes to that, your mentals, right? So I think it's that's one of the things that, Brian Snicker has to keep an eye on, and I think Alex Anthopoulos has to get the good feel for as far as what I need to do. Like Alex Anthopoulos needs to figure out what he needs to do. And before we talk about what he needs to do and the trade deadline, what his priorities should be, we're going to have Tenitra tell us about sports card investing and how they don't got down with Locked On Sports Atlanta as well.
Yes, they are the sports world of cards reimagined. The Sports Card Investor app is the hobby's most powerful resource. You can do a quick check on the value of your favorite cards. You can find great deals, profit from the hobby that you love. So check this out. You can easily borrow $630 30,000 cards. You're borrowing from every sport, right? Hundreds more added every week. So right now they're probably bordering on 700,000 as we speak. But you can check the latest values of those cards with a 7-day chart or a 30-day chart. And of course, check your favorite player out, right? Or check out Ronald Acuna Jr. and look what that looked like in his rookie year. And I bet that Michael Harris, the second rookie card, that's going to be worth something someday. So you have the opportunity to go and check out the values of each and every card. You can find out the best prices. You can even buy directly through the app with the eBay deals feature. So whether you're a casual card collector like me or looking for an alternative investment opportunity like me, the Free Sports Card Investor app has something for you. Again, can you imagine the value of even a Spencer Strider card? So go back in time, see how much your favorite card is worth today. I know I have a few cards left that I may need to check out as well, and definitely making a call home to see what's in that boat. I am. So stay up to date on all the latest record-breaking baseball cards and download the Sports Card Investor app today. It's available for free in the Google Play and Apple app stores, or you can just go to sportsinvestor.com/locked on. That's sportsinvestor.com/locked on.
Go ahead and do it right now. Go ahead and put some money down so it can come back to you in about 10 years when Michael Harris is on his way to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I said it. Well, it doesn't matter. Y'all know how I feel about him. Now, T, as far as we know how it came out over the weekend, we know how what the doctors feel about Adam Duvall. They said your season is over, buddy. He's going to have season-ending wrist surgery. He injured it in the game on Saturday. He had instance where he went into the wall on Saturday, and he actually came back, and then they ended up taking him out of the game, and he was replaced by Heredia. And I think that, a lot of people, I know myself, I don't like the idea of Heredia being in there each and every single day in left field or platooning with Eddie Rosario. That doesn't sound tempting to me at all. Right. So does this injury of Adam Duvall change the perspective or change the directive for Alex Anthopoulos ahead of the trade deadline?
I believe so, because there are some numbers that none of us really talk about when it comes to Duvall, right? A lot of it is we're looking at, to your point, what he's doing in the outfield, because defensively in left field, he is the truth. He has been solid in left field. And like you said, whenever he takes a day off, you just cringe and say, okay, Heredia, Rosario, and you think about Rosario not quite being 100% back from that eye surgery. So It's a little freaky, it's a little scary for Braves country. And then you think about his numbers. Duvall's OPS over 900 over the last 34 games, 10 home runs, 20 RBI. That's not easy to replace. And we know from those guys that we just mentioned, Heredia and Rosario, definitely not easy for them to replace. So yeah, he may have to go out there and look for somebody who can give him, Alex Anthopoulos, what he needs, somebody like an Ian Happ, because again, what Alex Anthopoulos is able to do, and we've seen it time and time again, is look for that guy who can actually play pretty much any position that he's needed. And of course, that guy plays a second base. He plays in the outfield. He can do that. And maybe the long shot, I said the long shot, might be Jorge Soler. Yes.
Familiar names are definitely something I think Alex Anthopoulos should definitely consider, and we would see how he's going to handle these injuries that just keep coming around. But I think Alex Anthopoulos has proved time and time again that, hey, he's a guy that's always kind of thinking ahead and prepared for these particular situations. Speaking of situations, John Collins and Trae Young seem to be a situation, but I don't necessarily believe that, because I always thought these guys have one thing in common. They like playing basketball together, and because they've been successful. So I don't think that you can like literally hate somebody or want somebody off the team or something like that if you don't have some type of chemistry and success on the court. So it seemed like that continued. They were out in the Drew League. Outside of John Collins's finger looking like Boo Boo the Fool. I think all is well with Trae Young, between Trae Young and John Collins. What you say, T?
And maybe it has to be well, right? Because at this point, especially with the condition of that finger, and you don't really know what you're going to get, that may be part and parcel to why There really was never a trade partner that the Hawks could find, or at least to date have not been able to find. And again, that's not because teams don't respect and appreciate John Collins. It's just because sometimes when you're talking about what the Hawks may be willing to give up and what that other team may be desiring, those things may not match up. But so that, in addition to the fact that this was commentary way back in the Lloyd Pierce days, right? About this chasm between.
Kind of tired, to be honest with you.
Yeah, John Collins. And it's like, let's just put the narrative to rest, because he stayed on last year. Again, he's gone through 2 years of the trade rumors, and John Collins has been nothing but a stand-up guy and professional with it, and come to play ball with Trae Young all of this time. And I don't anticipate that he's going to do anything else unless something happens here or miraculously at the NBA trade deadline. Other than that, I think all you need to have, and Jarvis, you as a former athlete can attest to, have a working relationship, and that's all you need to make some magic on the floor, regardless of whether, you guys have the same taste in anything, whether it's music, clothes, how you travel, how you roll, who you roll with. None of it matters. Just make sure you've got what you need for that chemistry on the floor. And I think they've got that.
No doubt about it. We've talked about what Desmond Ridder needs in order to be successful this year. But the Madden raise came out, and he was the highest rated rookie quarterback. We'll talk about what that means, if anything, right here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. This is ATL Day One.
Welcome back to ATL Day Ones. I am Tenitra. That is Jarvis. And thank you guys for rocking with us as always. Thank you guys for continuing to download this podcast wherever you get your podcast and continue to give us 5-star reviews. We definitely appreciate you guys for that. And you know what else we can appreciate, Jarvis? When somebody gets a rating right, because it's always fun when everything Madden comes out, right? Whether it's a Madden rating or the new Madden, who's going to make the cover, so on and so forth. So anywho, after you kind of got through all of the guys who, the veterans, if you will, who may have been upset about their rating, then we get to rookie ratings. And check this. It may have taken the Falcons 74 picks to get their QB in Desmond Ridder, but up to that point, let's just be real. There was only one other quarterback who had been selected, that of my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers, selecting Kenny Pickett at number 20. Yeah.
Knew you was going to slide that in.
Yes. Steeler Nation. But anyway, back to the Falcons. It was really a lack of quarterbacks. Like when you think about all of the hoopla, it's really been about the class of 2023 and not so much about the class of 2022. So it kind of makes sense that Desmond Ridder was there for the picking for the Falcons in that third round. And guess what? The lack of quarterbacks may actually make for the perception or lack thereof about this being, like I said, a weaker class. And Madden 23 actually agrees. Check this. Ridder received a 70 overall rating out of a possible 99, but that is the highest out of any rookie QB this year. So I ask you, do you agree with that rating when you think about not just Kenny Pickett, but you think about that entire class of QBs overall?
I think one of the things that comes in, the first thing that came to mind when I saw the rating is that the fact that he was there for, was a 4-year guy, right? Yeah. He's been there for quite some time. He was successful. He had a good overall career, and I think a lot of people don't understand, but yeah, they do take that into consideration. I understand. There's the breakdown of attributes and all that stuff like that. But I think that is taken into consideration, but the one thing that, and another thing that I think that, was taken into consideration is that the fact that there were some guys who thought that Desmond Ridder was the best quarterback out of this class, and there were some concerns about Kenny Pickett and whether or not he's going to be that guy. And you see, Malik Willis was right there, right up under Desmond Ridder as well.
Yes.
And I think that essentially how close this class was from an evaluation standpoint was true in Madden. So I think this is kind of right around. It's not like he's a 75 and everybody else is 65,
Right.
Everybody is right there next to each other. So, and I think that's how they were evaluated when coming into the 2022 NFL draft. So I think it's right where it's right where it needs to be. And I think that it's going to be really interesting from a standpoint of playing time, because, Kenny Pickett, the starting position is not like his. They signed Mitchell Trubisky, so he's there as well. So he has to literally compete for the spot. So I think both quarterbacks are. You laughing? I know. Yeah, but everybody think Mitchell Trubisky's don't turn his life around because that's what Buffalo quarterbacks do, right? So I'll go with that. I'll go with that narrative for now. So it's all good. So it's a competition. So I think that once we see how these competitions play out, I think that there's going to be an interesting conversation as to playing time, success, and what that looks like going forward for both of those the quarterbacks.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I want to come back to that success part because I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens at the back end of the season. And like you said, a lot of it is dictated by, are you going to have to start day one? Kenny Pickett, probably, real talk, he probably will start a couple games in, right? Because
Right, yeah.
unless they see something amazing in training camp, they probably will give Mitch Trubisky the opportunity to be the starter, right? And it'll be
Right.
interesting. You look at even at Carolina. Is Matt Corral going to get a chance, an opportunity? Probably, but nobody really knows if that opportunity is going to come, day one because they went out and got Baker Mayfield. So,
Yeah.
in the Falcons, similar situation. We
Right.
don't all expect to see Desmond Ridder week one because of Marcus Mariota, but certainly we expect to see him at some point. So that kind of goes to my next point of when we look at Desmond Ridder, what do we think of as success for him this season?
You know what? To be honest with you, to get a good grasp of Arthur Smith and what he wants in his
Yeah.
offense, to be able to go to the huddle, call a play, and and everybody understand where he's coming from, and
Yes.
and be able to get to a point where he kind of knows or got a good idea is what Arthur Smith is thinking,
Yeah.
excuse me, from what he's seeing on the field, and those things line up because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like there is. Like you said, there's a veteran in front of him that more than likely is going to start day one.
Yes.
So you have to get all of the other aspects of the game because you're probably not going to get that playing time right off the bat. And you have to kind of understand all the other things that goes along with being a starting quarterback, understanding what the play call is, understanding why he's calling that play. Because if you can understand the why as a rookie, that you're setting yourself up for success. I think that's what success looks like. Understanding the why. Why is he calling this plays? Why is he calling this play in this particular situation while Marcus Mariota is on the field? Because to be honest with you, T, I don't think Ridder plays this year unless Marcus Mariota gets hurt. And I think I'm not wishing any ill will on Marcus Mariota but he has not played a full season since he's been in the NFL.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they've added another game, so he couldn't play 16. So there's no way I'm going to assume that he can play 17 for a 17 game schedule, injury free. So I think that that success before he actually gets playing time, it looks like understanding the why and getting to the point where he can really get a good grasp of this offense and building up rapport with his receivers. I think that's what success looks like for Desmond Ridder in 2022.
Right. And that's what I was going to say as well. In terms of the game slowing down for him, I think that's going to be huge. I actually do expect him to play because when I look at the first 4 to 5 games for the Falcons, good luck, Mariota. I mean, really, so if
There's some defensive lines on the other side.
exactly.
They get to the quarterback.
Right. So it might happen, out of default, which I make that point because in addition to what you were sharing as well, that also depends on a young team, around him, if you will. He got some veterans because I do think, honestly, we don't talk about Brian Edwards probably as much as we should and some of the other receivers that the Falcons have added. But when we talk about the wide receiver 1 or tight end 1, which really is like wide receiver 1A and 1B, he's got Kyle Pitts, who's in the offense for a second season, but also he's got 2 new quarterbacks, right? That he's trying to get a rhythm with and get in sync with. And then of course Drake London, who's somebody who, hey, he has to slow the game down for himself as well. So I think, those are going to be critical factors. And it's interesting because Madden actually will, of course, adjust those ratings throughout the season based on how those quarterbacks do. So I'm kind of interested if/when Desmond Ridder plays, what those ratings look like and what our definition, if it changes, of success will be like. Now, this was something else that I thought was interesting when it comes to those rookie ratings, right? It also gives full ratings for the Falcons quarterbacks. Now, so if you wanted to make a case for Desmond Ridder and what it might look like when he comes through, so Marcus Mariota, and it breaks it down for your overall, and Marcus Mariota is just a point ahead of Desmond Ridder, and that's somebody who's had years in the league. So I think that speaks volumes for the rookie rating as well. Felipe Franks got the 59 because they're still rating him as the third quarterback, although we know that they could potentially play him elsewhere. And then for speed, they're dead even. Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder at 88, Franks at 84. And then acceleration, Desmond Ridder 91, Marcus Mariota 90, and Felipe Franks 85. But for me, Jarvis, the reason that kind of stood out was I said, well, and then I'm sorry, there's one more, agility. Marcus Mariota kind of gets him there from 87 to Ridder 79, Franks 78. But the fact that the rookie can actually stand up as far as the numbers go, and we know it's all on paper right now, but that I still find is very, very interesting and maybe telling just in terms of some of those other factors that may play into what success looks like for Ridder, especially if, Patrick Mahomes joked about getting his speed up. But real talk, if Ridder can work on some of those things, because even Matt Ryan talked about that, some half joking, but half serious last season about the fact that he knew he had to get up his speed and kind of, just have a quicker release and just overall put together his game faster. But again, when the game slows down for you, then those things pick up for you as well.
No doubt about it. And I think that Ridder even said himself that he, thinks like he's like his comp probably is Marcus Mariota. And a lot of people had felt something either way, to the extreme, of course, on both sides. Like, okay, if you're Marcus Mariota, shoot, that means you're not going to be around here, not too long. Or, it's just a matter of he has some of the good qualities that Marcus Mariota has, that those are some of the things that can transfer, and he can, add his own little spin to it and be a successful quarterback in the NFL. So I think that these guys are closer than probably what we think so, or what we believe. But as a matter of fact, going forward though, I think that Ridder is a guy who he wants to pave his own way, and I think that he'll be able to do that just by his mindset alone. But I think that these guys they're gonna be in a real competition in training camp, and like I said, once Ridder gets on the field, I think we'll be able to clearly define what success looked like for Ridder going forward.
Yeah, that's a great point, because all of this is conjecture until week 1, but even more so conjecture until training camp starts at the end of this week. And then you get to also see him in hopefully both of them rather, in joint practices. And then of course in the preseason, because we know Arthur Smith is probably going to play his starters or potential starters much more than he played them last year. So yeah, that was just interesting to us. But when you look at the class, you can kind of see why Ridder was able to get that number 1 spot, because okay, who else was going to get it but Kenny Pickett, maybe on a good day. So anyway, speaking of good days, if you are somebody who likes chicken, but you like your chicken to be served a little differently, well, it might be a good day for you coming up. And also we will talk about, and for the culture, a little something that makes this day even more special. We'll talk about it on the other side with ATL.
Final segment of ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Want to thank you for rocking with us throughout the entire show. And you guys have been doing your absolute thing. We're up over 2,500 subscribers on YouTube. And remember, we are on the audio side as well, wherever you download your podcast. And remember, once you get there, you download that bad boy. You go to that review box. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review, because that's just how we get down. We are amazing, and you need to let everybody else know how amazing we are. Yeah, we got confidence on this show. It ain't no problem. But T, this is for the culture. It is the intersection between sports, entertainment, and the culture. And sometimes, whatever the heck we want to talk about, that's just what it is. But this particular time, T, you all know how the chicken sandwich, or like I like to refer to it as the chicken sandwich phenomenon. How that went down and with Popeyes, and everybody started getting chicken sandwiches.
Yes.
Now KFC is trying to catch up for some reason. They said they're gonna drop some nuggets. KFC is about to drop some chicken nuggets. Now, T, I know you are a Chick-fil-A connoisseur. and you know how you like your nuggets, you know how
Yeah.
you like your chicken sandwiches and everything like that. Are you interested? Are you intrigued? Are you going to try out the KFC chicken nuggets?
No question. No question. Because I absolutely, man, look, I am that one person from New Orleans who would probably give KFC a 1B to Popeyes 1A because I
Really?
like extra crispy. I like extra
Oh,
crispy.
okay. I got you.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that original, I don't know about all that now.
Right. No, no, no.
Mm.
But see, I'm not a spicy person. Like I don't eat spicy food.
Okay.
So Popeye spicy is probably the best thing going. But because I don't eat spicy, like that's not the thing for me. So I'm predicating the excitement about these nuggets on the fact that I absolutely love KFC extra crispy. So if they use that batter, also if they do
Mm.
like everybody else, Popeyes has a special sauce for their, chicken nuggets, and Chick-fil-A has a special sauce. I think
Yes.
even Bojangles has a special sauce. So KFC, you better be coming with the special sauce because you have some catching up to do. Yes, you do. But as soon as you do catch up, let me know because I'm gonna be there.
Ooh, oh no, I'm glad that you brought up the extra crispy because, I'm cool with the extra crispy, but that original situation, I can't get
Oh,
down with
yeah,
that. I'm
okay.
sorry, like it's for me, it's kind of like it brings up bad memories, right? So,
Okay.
real quick story. So, I when we play ball, when I played ball in college, when we used to go on the road, like we used to get meals after games,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we would get the meal on the bus and to eat on the bus on our way back home to our destination, right? And we used to get KFC boxes after every game,
Oh,
every game, and it was original, and sometimes it was cold, and we had
oh,
it after every game. I was just like,
whoa.
can we switch it up at
Yeah,
least
right. So
once?
Popeyes churches, I don't know.
Like I would have loved them for Popeyes. I would have loved them for
Even
even
churches, right?
churches. Like what I'm saying. Like I'm come. I grew up
Bojangles,
partly.
something.
I grew up partly in the hood. You know what I'm saying? At churches is cool. I mess with churches. I still rock with churches every now and then. The
Just
ones
gotta
that are
find the
still
right
open.
one, but
Right. The ones that are still open, but
yeah.
every game, T. And we up here sitting up here bartering, change, and trading and stuff. I'm like, man, I trade you your biscuit for your coleslaw. I'm like, oh, I get your coleslaw for your thigh meat. I don't eat dark meat. Like it was just,
Oh my
well,
God.
like we tried to figure out a way to switch it up, but T,
Right.
it
Gotta
just
make it fun.
bothered me. It just bothered me
Because
so
you were
much. Oh
triggered
my
by this
god.
whole story. Triggered. It's
Oh
okay.
my god, I was triggered by when I saw KFC, I was just like, oh god, please don't let it be original. But yeah, extra crispy, I might try that bad boy out. But
Right. Right.
there is a very interesting thing as far as what's going on with Subway though. They have a special request for people, and I think it may be halfway crazy. We'll talk about that. But before we talk about that, tell the folks about Coffee AM and how they man, they just got some good stuff going on over there.
Yeah, now Coffee AM you absolutely love because you already know they have the variety. So you don't have to think
Yes.
about whether you're gonna like their version of original recipe or their version of extra crispy because they'll give all of it to you and then some with a small batch roaster right here in your backyard, the best in the country. And why do we always say the best in the country? Because freshness matters. So if it's the freshest coffee you can get, because most of those coffees are roasted the same day, shipped same day or close to it, then that's what it is that makes it best. Current crop, that makes it best. Getting those coffees from all over the world through fair trade and direct trade, that's what makes this coffee so good. And if you need a little kick in the morning, like sometimes Jarvis will say he does,
Yes,
then
Lord.
absolutely it is the best thing for you. And if you're like me and you just want a little bit of flavor, different flavor, then you love the fact that they have great teas as well. So again, if you go to coffeeam.com/locked on today, you can take a look at the full menu and decide for yourself. Do you want the coffees? Do you want the gift sets? Do you want the teas? Do you want all of the above? You can do that. And you know why you can do that? Because at your first checkout for your first order, you'll get 15% off using the coupon code locked on. So again, that's coffeeam.com/locked on to get your 15% off at checkout for your first order.
Oh my God. Oh man. Go to Coffee AM. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. All right, now T. Subway. We now we know the PR nightmare that Subway has gone through over the years, right? And it seems like they are kind of getting a little desperate, as far as with this latest promotion. They are offering free sandwiches for y'all on the west side for life to one person who gets a foot-long tattoo. So Subway is offering to one person.
One person.
So it's not a guarantee if you get it that you're going to be that one person, right? So you see the verbiage. You gotta always check the verbiage when it comes to this type of stuff.
Yes.
If you get a foot-long tattoo, you'll have the opportunity to get Subway sandwiches for life. T, is it even worth it?
Well, if they said Firehouse, it might be worth it. But since they said Sub,
Good call.
Right.
Good call.
Yeah,
Man,
that's what I'm talking
Firehouse subs.
Yeah.
Sponsor the show. Come on, Firehouse.
Exactly.
We'll
Firehouse.
talk about y'all too.
Yeah, because we can give personal testimony for that.
Yes, Lord. Yes, we'll be shouting up in this place.
Right, exactly. But a Subway sandwich, not so much. And then to your point, read the fine print. One person who gets the tattoo is the person who gets the sandwiches for life. So do you want that tattoo on your body in case you lose the event, like you lose and you don't get the prize, you lose the contest? No, you don't want to be that person. And then you don't want to have to go through the process of getting the tattoo. What do they do with the tattoos? Like kind of tattoo removal, if you will, or gloss, whatever they do.
And that costs a lot.
There you go. See, that's a very costly thing. Very, very costly thing. And for some Subway sandwiches, like we said, not even Firehouse, miss me with it. Unless Subway wants to be our sponsor, and then there's that. But anyway, listen, guys. Before we wrap up, got to give a special shout out. So one time for the birthday boy, Jarvis Davis. It is his birthday.
Thank you.
So happy birthday to Jarvis. He's going to get it in with his boys later on this evening. They're going to go kick it in a laid back sort of frame.
And we're not going to Magic City. Just for the record. We're not doing that. The heathen days are over, T. We're not going to Magic. Yes. There we go.
And miraculously, people, my mind never even went there. So that's really Jarvis' mindset, because I never even thought that. But they're going to go just kick it in the city at some reasonably acceptable place based on what Miss Tanae has already approved. There you go.
Exactly. That's it.
That's really all it has to be. Yeah. But guys, make sure you put in the comments when you give us 5 stars, give Jarvis a little happy birthday shout out. So we'll be back tomorrow, hopefully talking about the Braves taking the first game in the 3-game set versus the Phillies tonight. Max Fried is on the mound, so that always makes everybody happy when it's Max Fried day. And also, you never know, Alex Anthopoulos could have those phones ringing even tonight. Or will we see someone go down to AAA? Someone come up? Kyle Muller, anybody? Anyway, we'll talk about it all tomorrow. And of course, if there's any news coming out of Flowery Branch, you're going to hear about it here. Thank you guys for stopping by ATL Day Ones. We will see you tomorrow.
Y'all come back now, you hear?